Okay, it's a little on the colder side. A nice 30, so just a touch below freezing. But you know what? That's all. That's all part of the deal. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for the opportunity to feel like my fingers are gonna freeze off in the pursuit of this early morning back day. So this is something which I think is. I mean, look, I don't think about life so black and white as to say, like, if you do this, you're cool. If you do this, you're lame. Oh, like, no, I don't think about that. But for myself, I've got like a little bit of a personal scale. So on a day like this, holiday, right? You're not gonna want to just break off on your own at 6 o'clock for 3 hours to go hit a workout. So okay. Right? That presents a situation, and I'm not trying to guilt anyone because I'm sure a lot of you guys are making today a rest day. But I'd rather just hit it in the morning, make room rather than make an excuse. Now, I'm not saying, like, obviously, I think turning a holiday into a rest day is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're already going to do a rest day anyway, it's even better. But if you really did have training planned for, it could be anything, I mean, what was just whatever. Insert any special occasion, and that's always a perfect kind of fulcrum to go. Ooh, I can take today off. Ooh, I can skip today. I can actually chill. It's it's Thanksgiving. It's Halloween. It's almost Christmas. Dude, it's the first day of December, man. It's finally Christmas. Like, anything like that. So it's, at least for me, I might look at that and think, okay, how bad does this guy want it, right? Like, the idea will pop into my head. I'm not judging. I'm not going to scan through the comments and find someone who said, I took today off, and like instantly, but it's something to think about, right? So objectively, try to do a little bit of a reflection. Are you really doing what you want to do? So if today, rest day, holiday, is that really what you wanted to do for real? Or would you have preferred if you did your training early and then you get to enjoy the rest of the day? Right? So I guess I'm just trying to say, live your truth. So if you really are like into, like, okay, today's a rest day, perfect, I'm gonna get back on my training tomorrow, nice, all good. But I think there's a big chunk in the middle where it's I probably should have worked out. I probably should have done my cardio. It's the holidays, right? A very cope-based mentality, and I don't love it, right? And maybe this is just me because I'm so into it, but I don't like the idea that my kind of whatever my schedule is working towards the goal that I have can be influenced by like a third party, whether it's even if it's a freaking holiday. Like I feel like that's just another challenge to kind of overcome, and then come in and hit it, right? But I'm acting like this is a freaking cross-Atlantic journey, like solo pilot. Like, it's just a morning lift, right? It's not that deep, but right, 1 lift, 10 lifts, 100 lifts, 1,000 lifts. I think it's more important to kind of look at your patterns of habits, and the more positive ones you have, even if on a day-by-day it's kind of inconsequential, over time they add up, and vice versa. So the guy who always comes in the long run is probably always going to beat the guy who always slacks. I don't mean always, like every time, but I mean every time the opportunity presents itself. Oh crap, man, I'm supposed to do legs, but all the squat racks are taken and the leg extension's broken. Let's do some chest. Right? Stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm getting at, right? But the plan for this morning is going to be back, followed by 30 minutes of cardio. Maybe a little bit of rear delt, but honestly probably not. I'll I'll think about it once I actually get in there. But yeah, we'll see. So I feel like my last back day was very lat focused. So it might be a good idea to make this one a little more row based. I'll think about it. But either way, probably around 7-ish sets, maybe 6, maybe 8 total, with, you know, maybe a drop set. I feel like I haven't hit a drop set for a while. Maybe that should be my theme for today. But either way, let's get this Thanksgiving pump started. This will be good. A little bit of a lighter squeezing start. So I don't do this a ton, but yeah, this chest supported row setup will be good. With the 2 long D handles, the fact that I can really kind of pull my shoulders back around each other, I don't know, I just like it. Like at the back, I don't want to feel like I'm pulling the handles in. I want to feel like I'm pulling them out and like around so my elbows touch. They never do, but that's my mental cue. Oh, one more of those. Minimum. Yeah. Ooh, all right, I lied. That feels pretty good. Let's keep doing that. Honestly, let's just do those until they don't feel solid anymore. So that could be 1 more, could be 3 more. But that's a good mid-back squeeze if I've ever had one. All right. Okay. Okay. 1 more, and then let's move on. And the reason why I don't mind sitting here doing these sets on repeat is that this feels good. Well, I'm getting kind of what I'm aiming for, mid-ish, not just straight up lats, but lats are coming into play. And this is something which I really do think was like a eureka moment. Not so much as like feeling my chest on incline press. That was a really big one. But during a row, especially one like this, you can really squeeze. Instead of just doing it, actually like feeling your basically rear delts area pull inward in the back. I mean, we'll see it when we pose down later, but there's like a fancy chunk of muscle between your traps and your lats, right to the inside of your rear delts. It's like Terry's major, rhomboid looking stuff, but that adds a lot of interesting detail, especially if you're a Baki fan, then you know what I'm talking about. But 1 more, and then we'll pick something else. All right, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of like a funky resting on the top of my foot kind of method. Because if I just stand up like this, so a little bit of a tip to anybody recreating this exactly, you're gonna tip your bench, right? It's gonna kind of flip up on you. So by sucking this leg in, I'm kind of putting more weight down. I'm using the other leg for stability, and then the bench doesn't wobble. So whether that tip helped you or not, I hope it did. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's do a pull down. I think a basic pull down will be a good next move. Okay, not too heavy. So this is, what is this? 240. So 240. That's, if you lifted a Planet Fitness, that's one notch heavier than the full stack. So that's about right. Plus, those were light squeezing sets. So even though I'm like pumped and I feel fatigued, also they weren't super lat focused. My lats feel pretty strong. So this should be a good set. And it's not gonna be super slow and controlled. This is something that sometimes I have a hard time explaining and making it sound like how I mean it. But you know, obviously there's value in a controlled squeezing, holding set, and then, you know, getting faster reps out with partials at the end. I think that's pretty basic. But there's also, I feel, a good value in more of a pump-focused set, which, I mean, that's like so arbitrary. Like, what does that even mean? Where I'm using a decent weight. It's not crazy heavy. It's substantial, and I'm not going to hold it. Like, I'm just doing decently quick reps. But the fact that I'm already kind of pumped, I'm already kind of fatigued from the first couple of reps and just activated, I feel like I get a lot out of them, you know? So whether I'm going to do a set of cable press really slow with a good hold and a deep stretch, or if I do them a little bit quicker, as long as I still feel at every rep, I can tell I'm getting more pumped. I've got a good, I mean, I guess, you know, not to sound like a freaking regular lifter, but a good mind-muscle connection, and I'm really getting after it. Well, you know, I think it's solid. So I guess that's to say, every set doesn't have to be light squeezing. Light squeezing sets are good, but every set doesn't have to be like that, as long as you bring it. Yeah. Okay. One more of those. Whew. Yeah, that's good. Two. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, I think I have a plan for the finisher. What do you think it'll be? Can you predict it? All right, let's just burn out with some alternating single arm pullovers. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And I'm not so concerned with hitting like total perfect failure like with a regular heavy set. I'm more so aiming for like the feeling of burning at both sides of my lats. Okay. Oh, that's enough. Let's see your back's looking. And that's, I got something to say about those pullovers. All right, so in terms of those pullovers, those are probably the best mind-muscle connection, like training movement you can do. Like super lightweight. Grab it, put it on 10, 20, and just really try to dig in, you know, because let me see if we can kind of see a little, like, yeah, sort of. Like you see how there's like that line of lat over here, and it goes all the way down to like right here. Yeah, it kind of tensed up. Your lat is this big. I mean, it might insert higher or lower. I think I've got kind of low insertions, so very like a lot of room to fill in, but it goes all the way down. So what that tells me is I want to feel it from the top all the way down to that bottom section at the, not at the same time, but over the course of the workout. And the thing that lets me feel like my deep, low lat, like, yeah, oh, even better. Like, see way down there where it's kind of tying in. I feel that a ton doing those single arm pullovers. And honestly, the lighter, the better, because then you can actually really control it and feel all of that tense up all the way down here. Like, shit, I don't even know my lat went down that low. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. All the way down. Because having that lower section filled in kind of adds to the, you know, turtle shellness, if you follow. But now let's see how we're looking. So that's what I'm talking about when I was saying that in between your traps and rear delt muscles, like they're freaking pointing out. Obviously I'm leaner now than a while ago, so it's a bit more abrupt, but those fancy muscles are what I feel make your back look extra freaky. Well, let's run through a couple. Oh, man. Yeah, that's sweet. Let me see if I can get a little bit of that across the mid-trap vein to pop out. Maybe it did. Maybe it freaking didn't. But, yeah, let's see from the front. Oh my gosh. So I'm in a primed state to hit some vacuums because I don't have a ton of food in my stomach yet. But yeah, this is what I want to see. I mean, even just like leaning back and forth, this is way more. I mean, I haven't had separate abs like this since freaking March. So it's been what? March is the 3rd. No, it's 8 months. Nah. So this is what I'm getting excited for. So the leaner I get, the more interesting all of these details will become. So I guess we'll just have to see. Let me see if I can hit a little ab shot. Oh my gosh. Well, that's enough of that. Honestly, very happy with this level of leanness at this current time, because the Arnold is, I'm pretty sure, 98 days away. 98, maybe 99, pretty sure 98. So that adds up to what? 10 is 70 plus, that's about 14 weeks. So my current body weight is about 242, 241. And for me to be show ready lean, I'm gonna come in I'm gonna wake up, go to the bathroom, be like empty stomach, but hydrated. So my morning fasted weight for me to be show ready is gonna be just around 220, honestly about 227, just about there. So 14 weeks, 14 pounds, just about, there's always fluctuation, but that's about right. So I think I timed this prep a lot better than my last one. And half of it's just practice. Once you've done something once, you got a better idea of how long it's going to take, how hard is it going to be, and what your expectations are. But no, November 27th, I am feeling like I'm on freaking track, and that's perfect for me. That's honestly probably the biggest tip that I've ever heard that I really resonate with when it comes to just any, like, not full-on anxiety, but just like antsiness, or like not insecurity. I get a little more anxiety, and it's not because you have a lot to do. It's because you're not on track for what you want to do, right? Nobody is anxious sitting, finishing a project, doing all their chores, cleaning their laundry, being ahead of schedule on all their stuff. It's not the work per se that drives that anxiety. It's giving yourself this battle of like, I got so much to do. Fuck. I got 14 more weeks of dieting. Or whatever. So if you're on track, you've already done it in a way, right? So the idea there is kind of like just, the actual difficult portion is the process. So if you're actually, in the green, consistent in process, well, then you're good. Right? It's just a waiting game, Like there's no, I can't speed up my level of leanness any faster than I'm already doing. And since I'm doing my cardio and I'm counting my calories and my weight's coming down like I want it to, well, I'm a happy camper. I could not ask for a better situation, which is an incredible feeling. So if somebody watched this little back and forth about that and they didn't give a crap about working out or dieting, well, then that probably sounds like the silliest thing in the world. But for us, we get it. So I'm gonna go camp out, 30 minutes on the bike. I'm trying to catch myself because sometimes I'll sit on the bike and I'll look and I'm like, all right, 30 minutes. Let's do a little extra. Like just because I'm like, I'm already here. But for consistency's sake, I'm just going to limit it to 30. So 30 in the morning, 30 at night, or 30 in the evening, and just keep it static. That's one more bit of ramble before we get in the car. When it comes to your calories, when it comes to your training, your cardio, don't fret per se about like making sure you're doing it perfect off the bat. Like a lot of guys, I see comments where they're like, okay, how many calories do I have to eat to lose a pound a week? And my only piece of advice is look it up, like look up maintenance calorie calculator. My personal ratios are a gram of protein per pound of body weight, about about 25% of that in fats. So if I'm 250, I'm gonna put my fats at like 65-ish. I don't need to eat a ton of fats. I want to rely on carbs as my fuel source. And also, this is like a little bit bro science logic, but if I'm trying to burn body fat, why would I want to eat a ton of body fat? Right? Not body fat, but like oils and lipids. Like if I'm trying to burn that, why would I want to eat it at least in excess? And then you might say, well, what about keto? I don't think keto is awesome. If you're trying to get leaner, I'd say lower fats and then rely on carbs as your energy source so you're at least semi-carbed up for your workouts. But that's not what I'm getting at. Look that number up. Say you're a 180-pound dude, 2,000 calories per day, hitting your macros for real. Weigh yourself on the scale every morning and then see what happens. If you lose a pound on average that week, do it again. If you didn't lose any weight, you either got to drop your calories or actually track them and don't just lie to yourself about it. But that's a whole thing for a different time. I think I'm gonna make, because I'm gonna have a bit of time on my hands in terms of dieting, because I'm not gonna want to be traveling around. Like, I want to just get into a really good groove. So I think I'll make some. You tell me, would you like a 30-minute presentation with a slideshow about the Sam Sulek approach to dieting and cardio and everything else? I think that could be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. I'll look into putting that together. But I'm just distracting myself. 30 minutes, and then I'll see you in the car. Yeah, that's good. I made the smart move of bringing a tank to swap into, because I knew I'd be sweating through that freaking sweatshirt. Yeah, especially with post-workout cardio, I think a change of clothes is not a bad idea. And honestly, I don't know. There's like a utility sink in the corner by the Smith machine right in front of the bathroom. It wouldn't be that hard to just put up a shower curtain. It wouldn't be very it wouldn't be very high tech or anything, like finished, but that actually might be good just for efficiency's sake, because then instantly change, clean clothes, then you're clean. Don't even have to stop home. Could go somewhere else to do whatever else was next in the day. That might be good. That might be I'll think about it. I have not looked into that yet, but I'm excited for the snow. I'm not so excited for the cold. And it's nice inside. Like, I love looking out the window in the morning. Boom, snow white, literally. But it's not as fun when you've got to get in the car and I'm gonna, every time I diet really hard like this, or at least in the last prep, my routine moves up. Like, I don't stay up later. If anything, I end up going to bed earlier. Like, I had some 7 o'clock bedtimes earlier this year, because it's like, I did my cardio, I did my workout, I ate my meals, I did my later session of cardio. I was doing a lot of cardio at the time. This was like during the 2-hour-a-day period. And I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. 6:30. Play my phone for a minute. Out. Maybe not that crazy, but I always just, because I feel like I sleep much better when I'm dieting. Like I never feel like I'm not rested, but I do feel like I don't have the urge to just sit in bed for, or like go back to sleep once I'm awake when I'm dieting. So, even if it's like 7 hours, 6.5 hours, I wake up, shit, I'm up. Boom. Let's go get real. So, at least based on my last prep, that gets kind of compounded with like a post-workout cardio nap. But I'll see what happens. I'm not going to make this prep so intense on the cardio side, or at least I'm going to try not to, because I think I not overdid it, but I set myself up to have to overdo it cardio-wise, because I had to cram some fat loss a little bit. I started not too late, but I could have ramped up a little earlier. So that's my learning lesson, and now I feel like I'm much more on track, so we're on schedule. This train is going to hit all its stops at the necessary times, maybe even a little bit early. Maybe even a little bit freaking early. But yeah, it's not as fun having to, wear 2 pairs of pants, 2 jackets. I actually gotta bust out the freaking gloves again. I don't know where I bought these. I didn't end up wearing them today, but I just brought them just in case I wanted to. But I got these leather gloves. It's like just an Amazon thing. But luckily they're big enough, because my hands are, honestly, when I was younger, I didn't realize it at the time, but when I would look at myself like 16-year-old Sam, like my hands relative to my actual arm, it's like almost silly in proportion. Now they match because my arms are bigger, but at the time it looked kind of funny. But that's one thing that's always kind of tripped me up, is I can't freaking find gloves that fit. Same thing, I can't find good gloves. I definitely can't find good jeans, and Hats I'm very particular with. There's like a specific kind, because I don't know what the measurement is. It's got to be, I don't know. I couldn't even guess. But like a typical standard baseball cap, not good for me. Like it just doesn't, like I need to grab onto my head. You know, I don't want it falling off, especially if I lean back for like bench or something. Like that's just the freaking worst. So I guess that's just me having to be extra picky. But yeah, there's so I got a suit tailored for my sister's wedding earlier this year, but I got it like kind of current style. So the shirt is awesome, like an actual fitted shirt. Because if I have to get like I'm not like a Jay Cutler. Like that's a different level of size where you have to get like custom kind of stuff. But even at like around that 250, 260 mark, it gets a little tricky. Because if I buy like an off the rack, just random like button up t-shirt, if it's a 2XL, typically 2XL isn't meant to accommodate like 2XL muscle. So it just never fits right. So the fitted shirt was actually sweet. I think I'm going to go back and have the guy make the same one, maybe in like a black. I feel like that'd be kind of cool, a black or like a gray or something. But I got the pants a little more current, so I think I'm going to go back to the same guy, but get more of a like old school bodybuilder style set. That'd be pretty cool too, to roll up to the Arnold in like a fancy suit. But that wouldn't work because I'm going to be like smaller than normal. Like I think around a 240, like about right now, this would be a good size. Like clothes that fit me right now are good, because I'm not always going to be bulked and I'm not always going to be cut down super small. Not small, but you know, smaller. So around that 240 mark is good. So actually I think now would be the time. But there's and this is just a me thing, but I really don't like tight pants. Like it really doesn't. And part of it is just being big, like bigger in the shoulders. Because if you're rocking tight pants, unless you're also wearing like a compression shirt, it just gives you like a Gru look, where you know you're walking around like huge up top. But then as far as I'm concerned, tight pants, unless you're a freaking Ronnie Coleman in like actual tights, they don't do your legs justice. They're shrinking them down. So I'm always on the baggier pants side of things, and not because I feel like I've got small legs, but it's just tight pants. I don't know. I like that kind of baggy pants look, and then a little sleeker on top, because it's like just a good back and forth. So I'm gonna have the guy do, if I go back, I'm gonna have him do more of like a kind of 80s style, like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of style suit, like very kind of boxy, loose. I think that would be cool. Not that I ever wear one, so really I'd only wear the pants like anytime I go out to like a dinner or something. But it would be nice, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm in uniform. You know, I'm in uniform right now. Sweats, t-shirt. Like that is my only button-up shirt. Now, like it's a nice one, at least now that it fits me. But that's the only one I've got. So if I get like a black pair of pants to match that I like the bagginess of, that would be really cool. And you know, the only other thing that sucks, especially with the jeans, is like like the only kind of jeans that I would like are like old carpenter like style work jeans, and then you know they're either just totally worn down and ripped up, or they just aren't in the right size. Like I don't understand the pattern of the tight ankle, and I just don't like the tightness. That's my thing. You know, let's bring back baggier pants. Let's bring back some volume on the bottom side of things. So, if you know somebody, if you know a certain jean or a certain something or other, I'd love a recommendation, because I've got one pair and like it's not like they're dirty, but they're just worn. They get paint on them, you know. So, especially now that it's getting colder too, I'm actually going to start wearing real clothes. I'm not just going to, you know, be in the freaking light sweats. But now I'm just getting into a total ramble. So, Thanksgiving Day, I'm getting excited to go get everything prepped up. and then I'm going to try my best not to overdo it. So honestly, I think I'll be good, and I'm not gonna sit here and not have dinner, but I am gonna kind of leverage my calories towards later. So I'm not gonna go have a huge post-workout meal or like a huge lunch. Like, I'm gonna be a little more sparse so that I've got a good chunk of calories I've saved up essentially for the day that I can have a really big dinner with. And as long as the calorie values are still within reason, that's not going to throw you off your game. So that's my plan. Tons of turkey first as like a base just to fill up, and then aim for the sides so that I'm already full by the time I'm on like a deviled egg or whatever. All right. So it's that's my game plan. That's my game plan. So yeah, nothing else to say there. Happy freaking Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for a badass pump and some good cardio. So I'll see you tomorrow.